All right, hello students. Welcome to Game Simulation Programming 2. I know the syllabus says 3, it is actually 2. This is game 1359, spring of 2025. And again, classes started yesterday and it's going to go to May 17th. We'll look at the days. Morality, well, it was face-to-face, but right now we're in an online scenario because of the issue here on campus. If we were meeting in person, it would be in Corners 215 in person, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Really more like 9:30 as the term goes on. So, lab meeting day section. Lab is the same as here. So basically, the first 2 hours of each class basically is going to be essentially like the lecture, and then after that, I turn the time over to you to do the lab work. Given that we're here online, basically the scenario is basically jump in here into virtual 252, like you've done tonight. Thank you, everyone. And basically, if you got questions or you've got questions, basically just throw them into chat for me. Or if I'm not paying attention, speak up. Don't be afraid to use your microphone. I am again recording this portion is the lecture. I'll get it up on YouTube shortly after I I've done recording. So the course here is design development of game and simulation programs using user-interface design, mathematical elements, image and file structure, software development techniques. Very vague. Basically, and then it says complete utilize simple vector and matrix operations to complete simple game programs. Use best coding practices. Simple vector and matrix operations create simple games. You're already doing that. You did that in Game Simulation 1 already, quite honest. Develop a complete game. The second half of this course basically is a team project, which you'll present at the show games. That tip right now is tentatively to be May 15th. That's a Thursday. The 14th is going to be is effectively the final in this course, and basically it's when the project you're going to demonstrate, and we're going to go over the project in class, and we're going to polish what you've done so that you can present particularly the presentation portion of the project, so that you'll present the next day live on YouTube. Using best coding practice, again, what we're going to talk about, the first part of this course is going to be a lot about code hierarchy and code structure and how to do things in a better way. Again, a lot of you in Game Simulation 1 hit a wall, hit a big wall where you were trying to do a lot of different things, but the structure of how you were going about doing it, you didn't have all the tools to do it. This is where we talk about, so it's not how we code, it's not not the syntax of coding, but more how we are coding things. Again, we've got options of doing it. This class is about breaking that down into manual bits, manual ways, so that we can be robust, and be strong, robust, and data driven. This course did have one prerequisite, is Game 1343. So if you couldn't complete that work in that class, you wouldn't be able to complete the work in this class. We are using Unity. Specifically, we are going to be using. I'm going to stay with the Unity preview of the 6.0.16 1F build. So it's the same build you used in last term. There's nothing that we really need to go to in. There's nothing that we need to upgrade or to jump to with the newest build of Unity. So we're just going to stay with what you guys have been using, what we've got installed. And if there's something that you need to, we'll deal that on a team by team or a scenario basis. Again, I got to remind you that it's your responsibility to install the software, have your machine working. We IT here and me can't be your personal IT to. There are things that I can help you with, but there's ultimately it's up to you to make sure that your machine is up and running and doing what running the software you need. Again, my office is in Corners 313. For now, that's basically it. If you haven't heard, I'm going to be moving out of that office to somewhere else. I just don't know where and what the designation is and whatnot. It's still in progress. But as it is, I was never in there to begin with, so it's not a big deal. My email is here, but my phone number is not, because you phone me, it's going to just go to my email inbox with a voicemail message. Again, you got my email. Contact me here on Discord. Contact me on Canvas. Those are the 3 ways you can get a hold of me. The assignments, you're going to see quizzes, journals. Basically, they're one and the same. Quizzes is basically, I said this, or I had you read this in class, and I quizzed you to make sure you did it. Journals are more open-ended. Is more trying to get the creative juices flowing through your mind. Again, lab assignments are the primary work in the first half of the course, and then projects is, again, the second half of the course. See the grade scale, 90, 80, 70, D, F below 59.9. Late work is only allowed with instructor's approval. So basically, if you're having problems, you're not getting things to work in on time, talk with me, please, so that ultimately that as long as you are communicating with me what's going on, what's happening, you'll be okay. I'm pretty liberal with late work if you're talking with me. It's when you're not talking with me, you disappear. That's when I give you a 0 and there's not much else I can do. Deadline policy. This will apply to your project that's in this course. Basically, there's a deadline which you need to get your work in by. That will be the 14th. That would be that Wednesday before the finals week. That's basically that is the last day for you to do any work on the project. You may do some more work on presentation, but that's another issue. But if you fail to turn that in, it will be a 0 grade. See Canvas of the course calendar outline, details, description of graded work, and other related. I know I haven't set all the dates correctly for all the assignments. I know I've got the first 2 weeks. I'm going through and reviewing materials again in this course as well. So just be mindful that not all, if you see a date from last year, ignore that for right now. A new due date will be added to that lab as we go forward. Communication policies, you're expected to be checking your emails, Canvas messages on a daily basis. Hello, everyone. Today was an example of why that was. And let's see. Oh, thank you. I'm not sharing my screen. There we go. Thank you. I've just been going through the syllabus so far. Thank you for pointing out that I'm not sharing my screen. Everything I've shown will be in the recording, so don't worry. Again, what I've got is just the syllabus. Assets or policy, free of purchase, not without prior permission from me, the instructor. This might get loosened up a little bit later in the term. Right now, it's pretty much a no. But later in the term, if you're looking for assets to make things pretty for your project, that may be a possibility. We worked a little bit about using private repositories in a particular class. We'll talk more about that. It's something with the capstone we've been talking about. So there may be a potential where the repositories go private, then it becomes more. It allows us to let you go get assets out of the asset store. So that's one of the reasons why you wouldn't be able to use assets previously. Still with AI, we're going to go over the AI policy. You're not allowed to use AI tools without permission. So this is ChatGPT. This is any image generator, AI image generator. I'm trying to think what else is out there. But these generative AIs, you're not allowed to use particularly. You may get, if you're looking to use an AI tool in a particular way, come talk to me about it, please. So I know that at least you are using it so I can account for it. If you don't, that means it's basically cheating. You are allowed to use the Visual Studio AI tools. And that's mostly because it's a pain in the behind to have to be like the curmudgeon to be like, you can't use this because, or to have you turn it off. I mean, you can turn it off, but it's a pain in the behind to do so. So, and the other thing is, I'm letting you see this in action to see how bad it is. And I've said this multiple times. I've gone back to Visual Studio 2019 in some cases because I just don't want to deal with the AI tool at all, or even want to try turning it off. So, yeah, again, for the most part, I'm just using the Visual Studio to write tools. It's not that it's just the options to turn off are buried. You can turn it off. It's just those options are buried in a particular location in Visual Studio. So, regular and punctual attendance is required. So, good to like a dwarf. Strike the earth, everyone. Moving on. So, basically, in terms of cheating, basically you'll get a 0 on the assignment for that. And this is as it goes. Scholarly's honors report form will be submitted in the incident. You'll probably talk with the division head. You may be dropped from the course by failing grade or letter grade F. It also includes depending how egregious and what you're doing, you could be thrown out, suspended from the program, thrown out of the program, or even suspended from the school. So there's depending on how egregious you are, the things get worse. For those who don't know what me and Jacob just are referring back and forth, we've been talking about Dwarf Fortress. So we can talk about Dwarf Fortress another time. Withdrawal policy, it's your responsibility to withdraw from the class and to do so before the withdrawal date. Have to say that right now. Class began yesterday. Last day drop with W is February 2nd. Spring break is 17th through 23rd. Apparently, there's a spring holiday observed on the April 18th. April 7th is the last day to draw from class with a W. Final exam weeks is 12th through 17th. Again, that Wednesday is the 14th. And you'll be presenting your projects and you're presenting your projects. It's basically your first dry run, essentially. Presentations will be that day. Your class is done that night officially, though. There's the show of games the next day. I will say, if you totally botch your project, I will tell you, don't bother come that day. You won't be presenting. And I've actually had one group really botch their project. They decided that they wanted to make Dead Space, the whole of Dead Space, and produced very little in result. And it was so horribly mangled and not working. There was no way to salvage the project in time. Term ends May 17th. Again, May 15th, that's the Thursday. And right now, I don't have the official... It is going to be that Thursday, the 15th. I just don't have the official time yet. Right now, the question is whether it's going to be in the afternoon or going to be early at night. So it's like whether it's going to be like 3:30 versus 6:30. At the moment, and I'll have a better answer next week. ADA will adhere to all federal, state, local laws, regulations, and guidelines providing real college and afford equal educational opportunity. Hence, why you're online, because the elevator is not working, and without that, we are not ADA compliant. Hooray! It is the student's responsibility for if you're working with the Office of Disabilities for accommodations, it's your responsibility to work with that office to get accommodations. And I can tell you right now, I already have gotten accommodations from several students in multiple classes. So that is, sooner you get that in, as soon as you're working with them. I mean, they literally sent that out yesterday for this term, and I'll probably get a few more in the next week or so. But that literally, like, the sooner you're doing that, the better it is. And I know this is not something that may apply to you, but if it's something that you should know about so you can help someone else if they're having an issue. The IA statement, this is the campus blanket policy. It basically says that follow what I said above. Student handbook. Students expected to follow rules and regulations. Student handbook. You should look what's in there. You'd be surprised. Student services. There's many services that we provide, and they're not all academic. So there are professional services. There are testing services. There are if you're in trouble and you need help with things. There are people on campus help to, a safety net to help you be successful. It's not just all being in the classroom, being book smart that matters in terms of your success. So, and there's also student groups. I know there's a student group for game development that that we're trying to get off the ground still. So probably be a announcement over the next week or two about that group, about it meeting. If you've got any questions, concerns, complaints, you should go see my boss. She's downstairs in Corneth, room 173. Phone number and emails here. Again, if you can't, again, ultimately work with me. If you can't work with me, go to her. If it doesn't resolve, go to the dean, which is Debbie Hoffman at Gainesville. Again, the structure of the course basically is there's about 4 or 5 labs that we will go over, and again the fourth lab, they get bigger and more complex as we go along, and then by spring break, we are forming teams, forming projects, producing them, and then at the end of the term, demonstrating them. For those of you who are in this, for the certificate program, so if you're in the associate degree program, you're already in the certificate program as well. The project you produce in this course is the capstone for the certificate program. So for those who are looking to do the certificate, get the certificate, this project is essentially the capstone for that degree. Any questions before we get further into what's going on? The certificate program is basically the first year of the associate degree program, and it's just basically repackaged as a certificate. It's more for promotion and recruitment. So you complete the first year, you get those 10 courses. You get the certificate. Does everyone in the last semester to this class? No, not everyone, because not everyone's taking all the classes. Yeah, no, you have to have taken all of the 10 classes in the first. Well, actually, it's 9 now. It's 4 in the first term and 5 in this term. So there's 9 classes in these terms that you have to take. It's 30 credits total between the two, 14 and 16 between these two terms. And then next year it's 15 and 15. So total, second. So there's 30 credits in the certificate and another 30 more on top of the certificate for the associate's degree. That's how that works. So. Yeah, just the courses of the degree plan. I mean, it's the courses. There's the 4 courses in the first term, and there's 5 courses in this term that make up that whole certificate. So we'll not worry about the certificate program per se. As it is, I'm going to push you towards the associates anyways. So don't worry about the certificate. I'm going to stop the recording right here, and then I'm going to start it again so that we can go over the material basically fresh, so that separate the two.